Hello, welcome to Pose Breakdown, where today we're looking at Child's Pose, a very classical posture, one that's used in so many classes. For a lot of people it's a really comfortable position, but I know there's a lot of people that this really isn't comfortable for, and I'm sure it's very frustrating when you're in class and the teacher says, and now come to relax in Child's Pose. Because if for you this is not a comfortable position, that must be very irritating. Okay, so we're going to look at the pose. We're going to look at using props to make the pose more comfortable for you if you're not a person who sinks into it easily, comfortably. And we're also going to look at the yin way of doing child's pose, where we stay for longer and we're nicely supported. All right, so we'll start by having a few breaths. Just settle into the body, settle into the breath. So maybe come to kneeling if that's comfortable for you, sit however you wish, another way if that's better for you. But wherever you are, lifting through the spine, shoulders relaxing down, just rest your hands. Gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And then we'll have a nice deep inhale together. And exhale. Inhale, exhale, and keeping this lovely gentle breath throughout. Alright, so when do we use child's pose? Well, I use it in class often if I've been working my students quite hard, lots of downward dog, cobra, salutations, and I think they just need a few breaths just to settle and relax. So then I'll say relax in child's pose for a few moments. It's also used a lot for counter pose. So if we're doing a back bend and really opening out the spine this way, it's a lovely way to then counter pose. But always make sure whatever back bend you've been doing, even if you are someone who finds child's pose really easy, make sure you come in gently, having taken the back this way. Don't assume anything, and then ease gently, so take your time. So it's a kneeling position, and then we ease down. We're bringing the upper body down onto our thighs. We want the head on the ground, arms alongside you. Really letting the shoulders drop so we're nice and open in the back. So as you breathe in this position, ideally we're feeling the back expanding and releasing. We're feeling the rib cage expand and release. So that's a lovely sense of opening and softening. Okay, so if for you this posture isn't comfortable, lots of tips for you. So firstly, if you find it awkward on your knees, if you find too much pressure on your knees in this position, you may well find that having a blanket or whatever you have underneath your knees will help you straight away. So come to kneel on your blanket, and then maybe coming forward becomes much more comfortable for you. If for you, your bottom's up in the air somewhere, then I suggest you pop a cushion to sit on so that you are supported here. All right. If for you, your feet are not comfortable here, so let's say that the feet don't come all the way flat to the ground. So let me show you. So here you can see the whole of my foot is flat to the ground, so this is nice and comfy for me. Now if your foot is more like this and you've got a big gap or even a small gap underneath your foot here, the ankle, then that may well put some pressure. So then I'd say pop something underneath it to support it. So I've got this little sort of draft excluder. You could put a pair of socks, you could roll up a towel, anything you have. Pop that underneath your ankles. So now your foot is supported, there's not that gap. So you might find straight away, this is really useful. All right. So you could have underneath your feet, you could have a cushion to sit on. So now you might find this a really comfortable place to be and think, okay, Now I can think about coming forward because I feel stable, safe, relaxed here. So when you come forward, we want to have the forehead, or sort of the top of the forehead, on the ground. If your head doesn't reach the ground, we want to raise the ground so that it is supported. So you can have lots of blocks or bolsters or whatever you have, cushions. So I've got a cushion here, I've also got the blanket, so you can fold your blanket. That might be all the height you need. You may well need a lot more. So find the height that works for you. So once you've found your position, you can rest on your elbows if you feel that gives a better position for you here. So just try this, see if you can feel that nice opening and releasing through the spine in this position. I hope that's useful. So we'll look at the yin way of doing child's pose. So I'll get rid of some of these. So I like to do the yin way with my knees a little way apart. So just draw the knees a little way from each other and then bring a bolster or cushions or whatever you have between your knees. And this is going to support our front body. So in yin we stay for a few minutes, so we want to be really supported and comfortable and somewhere that we can stay and release. So once we get in the position, I want you to feel that sense of expansion with the inhale and the release with the exhale. So gently ease your front body down onto your bolster or cushions. You can rest either cheek. If you prefer your head central, like this, pop an extra cushion to place your forehead on. So you can have your arms alongside you or stretch forward, and then we'll have a few nice deep breaths here. So really sink into your position, feel your back expand as you inhale and release as you exhale. If you have one cheek to your bolster, gently turn your head the other way so we feel nice and even. And then we'll gently ease up out of the position. Move any cushions you have to one side. Bring your knees together. Good, I hope that was useful. I always think it's about really making friends with the poses. So if it's one that you're not comfortable in, let's see if we can find a way that makes it comfortable for you, for your body, for how you feel in each pose. All right, once we make friends with them, then we can really feel the benefits of them. So I hope that was useful. Thank you so much for joining. I look forward to our next session together very soon. Namaste.